Good evening everyone, Ragers here, back with another video. This one taking a look at the Otherworld exploration and the 15 teams that I am using and how I feel about the whole setup in general now here in Season 3. Now, as you can see from the rewards over here, I've already run my 15 teams because I'm an excited little girl and wanted to get it done. I had all of my teams built before today, so it was just a case of simply pressing play, just letting it run. So yeah, I've run 15 teams, all of them scoring 22 million, which leads us into, I guess, the problem with the Otherworld challenges now. So I'm in a very, very competitive server. They merged two, arguably the two biggest servers, I think. At least, like, it appears European English-speaking ones, at least, together. So, yeah, it's very competitive. Now, if we take a look here at sort of our daily exploration quests, I haven't cleared an elemental domain, and I haven't done a preparation quest, and I'm not going to. I'm not going to for the entirety of this boss, or this sort of challenge, this thing here. Why? Because the points don't give me that. I can get 2,500 points per 22 million team, and with these, I think you only get like 500 for the domains, and maybe even less than that for the adventure preparation. Sure, when you get your first one each day, it gets bigger, but still, you know. So I will not be doing this. I will not be doing this. Sure, you get a bonus, but the bonus doesn't equate to what I would get if I did everything else. Now, if this was 12,000, sure, I'd do it for the one-off because you sort of break even, but yeah, and it takes us on to the bigger issue with the overview here. Now, at the moment, everything seems reasonably close, but my bet is this is going to reach 100 when these are like halfway. I really do. And it'd be interesting to see what happens in the final boss if these aren't completed, how much harder it's going to be. I think there's a couple ways they can solve this. They can either increase the rewards you get to be on par with what you get for a Chaos Shadows, even if it's only the first one each day. Great, then everyone would maybe do at least one, just to try and get these up for when the final boss fight happens. Or you need to cap the Chaos Shadows at like 10. Still give you 15, cap this at 10, so you're forced to do that. Those are the two ways around it. Because Season 3, it's not difficult to get 15 teams to score 22 million. Now, all of my teams are complete teams, I guess. They're all 5-man, most of them are level 90 plus. But you can do it with 3 heroes leveled out and then 2 level 1s. Especially when you get the buffs here. In my alliance, we're pretty good. You know, we're closing in on the attack speed already. We've got everything else. But especially once you get down to like the bottom here, it's going to be a walk in the park. Absolute walk in the park. Now, the fact that I was prepared has been great for Chief Challenges and now the Otherworld, because I've gone from sort of like, when I first sort of started the season, I was around 70 to 80, because I didn't have Rook. So I was falling in the vortex. And I've now jumped up to 21. Now, whether I stay at 21 is another thing, but I'm certainly keeping up with my goal to finish in the top 50 and get these little golden tickets here. Ultimately, if I drop down to 300, it's not the end of the world, because these epic tickets are still great. It just means you can't get the Season 4 exclusives from them, whatever they are. So yeah, that's my little kind of, not rant, I suppose, but what I think the issue with this system is now at this stage. In Season 1, Season 2, it's less of an issue, but now, Season 3, just having it run the same, it's just not working. And the rewards, from the rewards point of view, I like the mythic gear, I like the worm arrow, the what do they call it? The essence of creation, it's not really needed now. Bread and solvent isn't really going to be needed. Because they disappear, my psychic ore's almost maxed already. Like, I've still got 51,000 to use. Like, I've maxed out everything this side. It's just down here. I mean, whilst we're here, might as well use it. There you go. There's that not done. So I've only got these few just here left. So anyway, 15 Ts. My 15 Ts. What am I doing? What am I running? Let's say, because I've already ran everything, just going to go into the Goblin, just cycle through everything. So this leads me on to another talking point. So, this season, I have not really run many gear dungeons. I've been solely focusing on getting my teams ready for cheat challenges for this. Which, okay, I have fallen behind in some areas. But, okay, you can push for the min-maxing the perfect items. But I've only got maybe 5 or 6 gear sets, and I'm pretty much just using them all, or gear plans, as it were. So my first team is the one poison team I have now. In cheat challenges, it got me 40 million, and it's definitely my lowest scoring because I don't have a rook. But 40 million is still pretty respectable, in my opinion. And they say, runs Whisk, Dargo, and Sabrina, as you can see, Theodomir, and Ogok just there. Now, if I look at Ogok for a second, and we go to plan, those are my save gear sets. That's all you need. My tanking gear set with a little bit of accuracy. Damage 1, damage 2. Accuracy and damage to someone for my Witch's Remains and things like that. They're going to be close to max crit rate. And Witch's Remains. Enlightenment healers and derivative damage dealers. That's it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These 6 gear sets are basically getting me through the entire content now, between now and the start of Season 4. You don't need to waste all of your energy in Venom to min-max the Vortex score. The Vortex score at the end of the season only equates to 5%, maybe 10% of your total score for the season. Don't worry, I am regularly outside of the top 100, and I'm still top 21 at the moment. Now, if I pushed Vortex a bit more, could I be inside the top 20? Absolutely. But at that point, you're competing with whales and things like that, and all you're getting is a bit more worm arrow and a few more dice at the end of the season. So, there we are. Don't need to run gear dungeons too much. Only using those 5 sets. 6 sets, rather. So yes, this is Team 1. Equipment plan wise, I've got Whisk in my Witch's Remains, Ogok in the Horn, and Puppeteer, Theodomir, Ancestral, Blast Jar, and then just 2 artifacts which give me crit rate to make it easier to build the rest of them. Now, as I mentioned, haven't been farming too many gear dungeons, so I don't have another Precise Carnage. I got 1 crit rate, 1 crit damage one. But these waterflying ones help keep the squishier people alive. So yes, that is Team 1. Then, for the Ice Domain, which is easily the easiest one, we have 5 teams. The first couple are Ice Blasts. So, this is Ice Blast 1. Again, looking at the equipment plan, I've got Shinner and Witch's Remains. I've got a Zorak, in the sort of derivative damage set that I've got. Fenia with the Horn, Sadic just with crit rate, and then Dalbum is my tank. He doesn't have a rune because he is only 4-star. Then we got sort of Ice Blast 2. Now, I know Lusenia is a Frost healer, but she's simply there just to put my Witch's Remains down consistently. Cervelis has a small heal, but mostly ult down. Elvis is the tank with the recharge speed penalty in the same tank set. And Nord is simply there just to pump up Beldel's damage. Team 3, and last Ice Blast team we've got here. Again, rather performing the same role as the Senya in the last one, just with the Witch's Remains. Got these two guys here as my damage dealers. Vikuk for the heal, and Urion for, again, just my tank. Number 4 is a proper Frost team now. Vidimir level 1, he's just there to make up the affinity. Furbath staying front and centre as my tank and my healer. And then just between the three of these, they're going to do the damage. Oster is in my Witch's Remains to apply the Frost. And every time he hits someone with Frost, he gets turn meter back. So it helps me keep it up reasonably consistent. And again, just the two damage dealers here. Again, Rowena is level 90. And last but by no means least, we have my last ice team here. Now, this is actually the worst one. The first 4 got 22 million within 2 minutes, something like that. This one took me a while, mainly because I don't have enough accuracy on any of my frost appliers. So it took forever to do the damage. But there you go. I've got my Philosopher and Voris in my Witch's Remains. Usha is the damage dealer, but she's not really doing much because there's no frost. I've just got Hokadir for the frost damage up, and Dorcas as another damage dealer. So that's my first 6 teams. Moving on to fire, we've got 3 fire teams. They're all wild because I don't own any burn legendaries, and I think I only have Arachis for the epics. It doesn't mean to say burn's bad, by the way, which is res and epics, just I decided not to. So fire 1, we have Victor as the tank and the buff removal in the slingshot. Cinerel, absolute boss hero, well done, congratulations if you got him. Then I have Torrendon as my Witch's Remains, and we've got a Bronwyn and Casper. Fire team 2, Garrica again is the tank in this one. We've got Foley and Erich as my wild damage dealers. Erich with the Witch's Remains. Yawn is just there, I just had a damage dealer lying around, and he helps keep turn meter down and remove some buffs as well. And then Corion as the healer, again, 2 level 90s. And then last but by no means least, we have this team. Isolde is the tank, Adolphus is the shielder or support. Obviously these two work so well together. Felicity is my Witch's Remains supplier. And then I have Alfie and Neda as sort of my damage dealers, but it's really all about Felicity and Alfie getting these two to sort of proc wild more often. Necrosis, we have 4 teams, and this will take us to 13 at the end of this. So the first team, we have these guys just here, Rippercast as the tank, Megan as a pseudo support, sort of boost turn meter. We have Devrick as our Witch's Remains, Adri and Joyce as damage dealers. Now I could increase Joyce's damage somewhat just by making him 5-star, but I decided not to because I can do it without needing to. Adri is 5-star, still level 90. Now, I did initially have a team where Megan was tanking it and there was no Rippercast, and I just had some other guy there. Also works. So, there you go. Necrosis team number 2, we have Kurza as our tank, again 4 level 90s. Cursor as the tank, Enna as the support. Enna is simply there just to remove the frost, and then her heal over time is all right. But again, we don't need to survive the entire time because we can do the damage before then. We then have, say, Cursor as our tank in the Witch's Remains. Enna is the support. Again, she's just 2 skill haste sets, just trying out as much as possible, or as many removals as possible, as it were. She doesn't need the accuracy from the Rift Glass, just the 100% haste. And then we got our 3 damage dealers. Dauk is there just mainly to apply the attack down, and Tatoff and Zaloth are doing the damage for me. Number 3, we have the summons here. Irma is the tank. Estella, since she's got the buff, is amazing now. Okay, guys. She's superb. Great support here and now. Gulend and these 2 as damage dealers. I think Gulend has she did have my Witch's Remains. Actually, I need to change that. Because we weren't quite doing enough damage with her just going as fast as possible. So I actually took Prempster out of this derivative damage set. I put her in the other damage set I had, and Gulend I had in Witch's Remains. So this one got about 18 million. I had to get the Witch's Remains in there. Necro 4, so this is what I actually ran for Chief Challenge. I only need to do this for about a minute, and then I can call it quits, because it scored 150 odd in Chief Challenges just with these 4. Isatarian is just there to make up the affinity numbers. I forget his name now. Evil Voresh Taldi, I think it is, can almost keep defense up permanently. He could do it in the test server, but they changed it just before Season 3 went live because it's a little bit too good. Torin is there simply, he's got his passive on Ozil. Ozil is the damage dealer here. It's just simply a matter of time before he does the required damage. And then we have our last 2 teams. Again, these were our Chief Challenge teams. So we've got our Radiant team just here. Again, does the damage very quickly. Aldreth is simply there just to tank the stun, essentially. Alton is in our Witch's Remains. And then Lorenthia was just there to buff these 2 guys. And then Dauntless. Poison Boss is arguably the second easiest. But for me, I don't have many lightning people built. So I've only got the 1 team. And again, this does 22 million within the first minute. So yeah, nice and easy. 15 teams done straight away. But yeah, so it'll be interesting to see what the squid, crab, underworld monster boss looks like when we haven't got all of the buffs that these provide, because I can't see it happening. Obviously, we are not fighting the Mecha Torque boss. They need to change that. But yeah, likelihood is we're not going to get 15% attack, and we're probably not going to get the defense either. We will just simply get the HP. Now, attack and HP isn't, the most game-changing. But if it's a tank and spank fight, which it looks like it's going to be, that might help. So there you go, guys. Thank you for watching. I hope going through those teams has perhaps given you some inspiration on what you can do yourself. And yeah, look after yourselves. Take it easy. Work hard, but remember to play harder. And I'll see you in a video soon. Cheers.